ఇక లోక్సభలో కనిమొళి మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. ఇప్పుడు లైవ్ చూద్దాం.
This government, when it sends governors to states which are non-BJP states, should ask them to read the speeches of Dr. Ambedkar, or at least kindly advise them what this country stands for and what federalism is. Because you are the ones who keep talking about cooperative federalism. So you should teach them to cooperate and understand the importance of federalism. But you do not listen. You could not listen to this, Mr. Rahul Gandhi when he spoke here. You were interrupting because you're not used to listening. It is something which you don't know how to do.
Listen to sense. Listen to sense.
But and I think this year you forgot in Tiruvallur because there are no elections in Tamil Nadu.
Yeah.
But I'd like to remind you, idipare illada emara mannan kedupar illanum kedum. Yes, I am translating because of course you did not make the attempt to learn any South Indian language. You only want to impose Hindi on us. None of you understand any Southern language. A king without an honest critical council needs no enemies to come to ruins. So if you do not listen to what the opposition says, to what the people say, to what the press says, to what people have to say to you, then you do not need enemies to bring you to ruins. This is what the government has been curtailing the freedom of speech vehemently, both inside and outside of the parliament. And it tries to create an aura of fear in many ways. We know, with all the tools in your hands. And
Shame. Shame on your tools. Your tools, yeah. All your tools.
This government has actively diminished. This government. This.
She's not yielding. She's not yielding.
This This government has actively diminished the space available for dissent, debate, and discussion. Making the people voiceless does not ensure continued power, but it will create simmering discontent and resentment. You don't know when it will become into flames. You cannot rule by fear and fear alone. The president said that in her speech said that the country no longer suffers from policy paralysis. But I think it has moved to a dictatorial policy making. Sometimes I am reminded of Alice in Wonderland. I don't know whether I'm in the parliament or in the court of the Queen of Hearts. She just needed no reason to pass a sentence. She needed no reason. She could not listen to any reason. So sometimes you feel that is where you are, in the court of the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. Because the government does not understand that the parliament here is to legislate, but it believes in bulldozing all the businesses. There are no pre-consultation policies. Parliamentary committee recommendations are unheeded. And every time we have to repeat what we recommend, and still the government does not listen to us because they are not used to it. And most of the bills are not circulated to the members earlier, so there's no opportunity for the members to be able to research, read it, understand it, because you only believe in bulldozing the bills. And the number of days the parliament functions, it's shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and I don't know. We might just have symbolic days when the parliament will function and then we'll all be sent home.
The Prime Minister doesn't even come to the parliament. All you do, try 3 times a year.
The Honorable President also said that the World Bank report acknowledged that India was able to prevent crores of people from falling below poverty line during the COVID pandemic. But the same World Bank report also mentions that it was the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act which played a role in mitigating the impact of poverty. It is a clear indication of the success of the scheme brought by the UPA government. But during this year's budget, the allocation to Manrega scheme is lowest in the last 4 years. The previous year, it was 73,000 crores. This year, it is 60,000 crores. But you are very proud of, poverty alleviation. And this is one of the most important schemes. And you've reduced 13,000 crores from it. There is demand, there is still demand. There is still demand. If you please can come and see. Then
Don't answer it. Don't answer it. Don't answer it. Don't answer it.
From being 63rd position in global hunger index, our country has slipped to the 107th
Shame.
rank.
Shame.
And nearly 4 crore Indians, youth, are looking for jobs.
Shame.
They're unemployed. Is this the growth you're talking about? And in the midst of all this, I don't think I have to go into detail because it was spoken. But in the midst of all this, the government is turning a blind eye, and we saw the virulent, strong support which the Treasury benches had when issues like corporate misgovernance and Adani was brought up here. How strongly you responded to it, reacted to it, and supported it, and you were shielding it.
Shielding it. Shame. Shame.
So, the sad thing is, there is a misgovernance and there's a manipulation of valuation. But your reply is only one, which says that it is against the nation. It's unpatriotic. It is against India. The same Hindenburg report, the same Hindenburg has given reports about 15 institutions, some in the US, some in China. None of these countries said it is against the country. It was against the institution. But when we are talking about Adani, it becomes against the country.
Anti-Indian.
So I'm really confused. I really want, you started calling India Bharat. Now I want to know what is the next progress. What is India? What is Adani? If talking against Adani is talking against India, I really want a clarification.
You become anti-Indian.
And what happens to the common people who believe in hard work, who think that they can save their money because it is a government bank and they will trust LIC? What happens to their future? They trust LIC because they think their children's futures are protected. What is the answers you have for them? Is this the way you respond to these hard-working common people of this country? And this government is very happy to close down every public sector undertaking. If it is profit-making,
Sell it to Tatas.
if it is or not, they do not come forward to help them, support them, and make sure that they run. They want to close it, they want to sell it off. But then when it comes to a private corporate, why is the government going out of its way to support it, to help? And why are you protecting it? We want to understand what is the proximity. without these answers, people are going to continue asking these questions. And people are going to be anguished about the future of their children. Sir, madam, you talk about women's empowerment. I'm sure we all here as women have this question to ask.